It's a peaceful morning. You sit by the kitchen window with your cup of tea, sunlight streaming in, and you reach for your daily vitamins, just as you've done for years. You swallow them with the confidence that you're doing something good for your body. But what if I told you that the way you're taking them could actually increase your risk of a stroke overnight? I know that sounds alarming. After all, vitamins are supposed to keep us healthy, right? That's what most people believe. But the truth is, certain vitamins, or the wrong way of taking them, can quietly affect your blood pressure, your blood thickness, and even how your heart and brain work together. And if you're over 65, those small details can make all the difference. My name is Dr. Ariana, and for over 15 years, I've been helping older adults protect their brain health and prevent strokes. I've seen far too many patients who thought they were doing the right thing with supplements, only to discover they were unintentionally raising their stroke risk. In this video, I'm going to show you the most common vitamin mistakes I see in people over 65 and how to fix them so you can keep your brain sharp, your heart strong, and your mornings truly safe. Stay with me, because what you'll learn today could protect you for years to come. When most people think about vitamins, they picture those colorful bottles lined up on the kitchen counter, symbols of good health. But the truth is, vitamins are not always harmless. In fact, for adults over 65, they can play a surprisingly direct role in your stroke risk. Let's talk about why. Certain vitamins can affect how your blood flows through your body. Some, like vitamin K, are important for clotting. That's a good thing when you get a small cut, but if you take too much, especially while on blood-thinning medication, it can make your blood clot more easily inside your arteries. A clot in the wrong place, like the brain, can trigger a stroke. Others, like vitamin E when taken in high doses, can thin the blood too much. That might sound helpful, but it can lead to dangerous bleeding, including hemorrhagic strokes. And then there's iron. While necessary for energy and red blood cell production, excess iron can cause oxidative stress, damaging the lining of your blood vessels and making them more prone to blockages. The problem is that our bodies change as we age. The liver and kidneys don't process excess vitamins as efficiently as they once did. What might have been a safe dose in your 40s could become risky in your 70s. And unlike nutrients from food, which are balanced with fiber, water, and other compounds, vitamins in pill form deliver a concentrated hit that your body has to handle all at once. I've had patients who believed more is better and doubled their daily dose of a multivitamin to boost their health. One gentleman, 68 years old, came to me with dangerously high blood pressure and headaches. He was shocked when we traced it back to his supplement routine. This isn't about scaring you away from vitamins. It's about understanding that they're powerful tools, just like medicine. The right type and amount can support your health, but the wrong dose, timing, or combination can quietly raise your stroke risk. In the next section, we'll look at the first major mistake many seniors make, taking vitamins at the wrong time of day, and why that matters more than you might think. Taking vitamins at the wrong time of day. Most people don't realize that the timing of a vitamin can make all the difference. You might think, I've taken my vitamins for years, morning, evening, whenever I remember. What's the harm? But for adults over 65, the wrong timing can quietly raise your stroke risk. Here's why. When you take certain vitamins, especially those that can influence your heart rate, blood pressure, or blood thickness, timing becomes critical. For example, taking stimulating vitamins or minerals like B12 or iron late in the evening can subtly raise your alertness, disturb your sleep, and cause small spikes in blood pressure during the night. You may not feel it, but your cardiovascular system does. And for older adults, nighttime is already a vulnerable time for strokes because blood pressure patterns shift while you sleep. Some vitamins also interact with your body's natural circadian rhythm, the 24-hour cycle that regulates blood pressure, heart rate, and even clotting factors. If you take them too late, they can disrupt this rhythm, leading to higher nighttime pressure or irregular heartbeats. Both are red flags for stroke risk. I remember a patient named Marlene, age 72. She took her multivitamin right before bed, thinking it would work overnight while she slept. What she didn't know was that one of the ingredients, ginseng, was slightly stimulating her nervous system. Over time, it was contributing to restless sleep, early morning headaches, and eventually a dangerous spike in her blood pressure during the night. The safest general rule for most vitamins, especially fat-soluble ones like A, D, E, and K, is to take them in the morning or with your first meal of the day. That way, your body has all day to absorb and process them while you're active, keeping your circulation steady. Water-soluble vitamins like C and B complex can also be taken in the morning to avoid any sleep interference or late-night blood pressure fluctuations. Another tip: avoid taking multiple high-dose supplements all at once. Spacing them out during daylight hours can reduce stress on your heart and digestive system. Timing isn't just a small detail. It's a powerful way to make sure your vitamins help your health instead of quietly working against it. Next, we'll talk about an even bigger problem I see every week in my office: taking too much of a vitamin or stacking multiple supplements without realizing the danger. That mistake can raise your stroke risk faster than you think. Excessive dosage or combining multiple products. It's a habit I see often, and it usually starts with good intentions. Someone feels a bit tired, achy, or run down and decides to boost their health by taking a double dose of their vitamins, or adding a second supplement that happens to have the same ingredients. Unfortunately, when it comes to vitamins, more is not always better. In fact, taking too much can silently put your health, and especially your brain, at risk. Let's look at vitamin E as an example. It's often promoted for heart health, but in high doses, it can thin the blood so much that it increases the risk of bleeding in the brain, which can lead to a hemorrhagic stroke. I've seen patients who unknowingly took a multivitamin with vitamin E and a separate vitamin E capsule, thinking they were doing something extra healthy. Their combined dose was well above safe limits. Iron is another concern. While essential for making red blood cells, excess iron can build up in the body, causing oxidative stress. This damages the inner lining of your arteries, encourages plaque buildup, and makes clots more likely, all of which raise your stroke risk. Older adults are especially vulnerable because our bodies process excess nutrients more slowly. What you take today doesn't just pass through overnight, it can accumulate over weeks or months. Fat-soluble vitamins, A, D, E, and K, are stored in the liver and fatty tissues, so an overdose can sneak up without obvious warning signs. Another risk comes from stacking products. Many seniors take a daily multivitamin, plus separate supplements for bone health, heart health, or energy. Without reading the labels closely, it's easy to get 2 or even 3 times the recommended amount of certain vitamins or minerals. This unintentional overdose can stress your heart, raise your blood pressure, and alter your blood's clotting ability. The solution is simple, but requires mindfulness. Always check the nutrition labels and add up the total dosage you're getting from all sources. If you're unsure, bring your list of supplements to your doctor or pharmacist. They can help you adjust your routine so you get enough for health benefits without tipping into dangerous territory. In the next section, we'll discuss a stroke risk that hides in plain sight, the way certain vitamins can interfere with your prescription medications, often with serious consequences. Not watching for interactions with medications. One of the most overlooked dangers with vitamins is how they interact with prescription medications. For many older adults, daily medication is a part of life, whether for blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, or arthritis. But what most people don't realize is that adding certain vitamins to the mix can quietly change how those medications work, sometimes in dangerous ways. Take vitamin K, for example. It's essential for healthy blood clotting, but if you're on a blood thinner like warfarin, too much vitamin K can reduce the medication's effectiveness. This makes your blood more likely to clot, which can directly increase your stroke risk. On the flip side, if you suddenly stop taking vitamin K after having it regularly, your blood can become too thin, raising the risk of dangerous bleeding. Another example is high-dose vitamin C combined with aspirin. While vitamin C is popular for immune support, large doses can irritate the stomach lining, especially when taken with aspirin, leading to ulcers or bleeding. If that bleeding happens in the brain, it becomes a medical emergency. Even minerals can be a problem. Calcium and magnesium supplements, when taken at the same time as certain blood pressure medications, can reduce the drug's ability to keep your pressure stable. Unstable blood pressure, whether too high or fluctuating, is a known stroke trigger. I once worked with a woman named Joyce, 72, who couldn't understand why her blood pressure was spiking despite faithfully taking her medication. After reviewing her routine, we discovered she was taking a multivitamin with high calcium and magnesium at the same time as her morning pill. By simply adjusting the timing, separating her supplements from her medication by a few hours, her readings returned to normal. The lesson here is that vitamins, like medications, have real effects in your body. Combining them without guidance can create conflicts you never intended. Here's what you can do. Always bring an up-to-date list of your medications and supplements to your doctor or pharmacist. Ask specifically about possible interactions and the best timing for each. A few small changes, like adjusting when you take your vitamins, can protect the balance of your treatment and help keep your stroke risk as low as possible. Next, we'll talk about another common trap: using vitamins as a substitute for a healthy, balanced diet, and why that can backfire, especially for your heart and brain. Using vitamins as a substitute for a healthy diet. It's an easy trap to fall into, believing that if you take a daily vitamin, you can eat whatever you want and still stay healthy. I've heard many people say, "At least I'm getting my nutrients from my pills." But the truth is, no pill can fully replace the benefits of a balanced diet, and relying on supplements alone can actually increase your stroke risk over time. Here's why. Whole foods provide more than just vitamins and minerals. They contain fiber, antioxidants, healthy fats, and plant compounds that work together to protect your blood vessels, keep your blood pressure in check, and reduce inflammation. These factors are all critical for lowering stroke risk. When you skip real food and depend on pills, you miss these protective elements. For example, vitamin C in an orange isn't just vitamin C. It comes with fiber, flavonoids, and water that help regulate blood sugar and cholesterol. Omega-3s from fish or walnuts come in a natural balance with other nutrients that support heart and brain health. When you only take an isolated nutrient, you lose that balance. I once had a patient, Robert, 70, who relied on a multivitamin and ate mostly processed foods. His cholesterol was high, his blood pressure crept upward, and he had very little energy. Once he began incorporating fresh vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and lean protein into his meals, while still taking the right supplements, his blood pressure improved and his risk markers dropped. The bottom line is this: supplements should complement your diet, not replace it. Think of them as a backup, not the main plan. A plate full of colorful vegetables, whole grains, and lean protein will always be your best defense against stroke. The vitamins are there to fill in the small gaps, not to do all the work. In the next section, we'll turn the focus to solutions. How to use vitamins safely and wisely so they truly protect your brain and heart, instead of putting them in danger. By now, you've seen how certain habits with vitamins can quietly raise your stroke risk. But the good news is, using them safely isn't complicated. It's about being intentional, informed, and consistent. First, follow the principle of just enough. That means only supplementing what your body truly needs. The safest way to know is through a blood test and a conversation with your doctor. For example, if your vitamin D level is low, a targeted supplement can support bone and cardiovascular health. But if it's already in the healthy range, taking more won't give extra benefit. It could raise calcium levels in your blood, which isn't good for your arteries. Second, choose the right form and dose. As we age, certain types of vitamins are easier to absorb. For example, methylated B12 can be better for older adults than the standard form. Avoid megadoses unless specifically prescribed, and remember that fat-soluble vitamins A, T or D, E, K, are stored in your body, so you don't need large amounts every day. Third, take them at the right time. Most vitamins absorb better with food, especially those that dissolve in fat, like A, D, E, and K. Pair them with a meal containing healthy fats, like avocado, olive oil, or salmon. Water-soluble vitamins like C and B complex can be taken with breakfast to avoid nighttime stimulation. Fourth, stay hydrated. Your kidneys work harder to process supplements, especially minerals like calcium or magnesium. Drinking enough water helps your body handle them safely. Finally, keep an updated list of everything you take, prescriptions, vitamins, herbal supplements, and review it with your healthcare provider at least once a year. This step alone can prevent harmful interactions and keep your routine safe. One of my patients, Linda, 69, started keeping a simple notebook where she wrote down her vitamins, doses, and the times she took them. When she showed it to her doctor, they spotted a few overlaps and made small changes. Within months, her blood pressure stabilized and her energy improved. Vitamins are tools, powerful ones. Used wisely, they can support your heart, brain, and overall vitality. Used carelessly, they can do the opposite. The choice and the control is in your hands. In the final section, we'll review the main points and talk about simple steps you can take today to protect yourself and lower your stroke risk. We've covered a lot today, and I hope you see your vitamins in a new light, not as something to fear, but as something to respect. We talked about how the wrong timing, excessive doses, hidden interactions with medications, and replacing real food with pills can quietly raise your stroke risk. We also discussed how a mindful approach, getting tested, choosing the right forms, taking them at the right time, staying hydrated, and keeping your doctor in the loop can turn supplements into a real ally for your brain and heart. Remember, vitamins are not magic shields. They work best when paired with healthy habits, balanced meals, daily movement, good sleep, and regular medical checkups. Every small choice you make now builds the foundation for a healthier, stronger future. If this video helped you understand your stroke risk and how to use vitamins more safely, please subscribe to Elderly Whisper and share this with a friend who might benefit. Together, we can make sure those little capsules in the morning truly work for you, not against you. Your brain, your heart, and your future are worth it.